Hello, and welcome to the podcast, episode 14, where today we're going to be discussing Temu. Within 4 months of its release, Temu became the #1 most downloaded application in America, and for a good reason. But, as I will discuss a little bit later, it's actually for bad reason. So for those of you who don't know, Temu is an e-commerce website application. Pretty much you can find it anywhere, and you can get things just like Amazon, Wish, eBay, Etsy. Well, Etsy's a bit of a oddball because people make this stuff on there. But yeah, it's just a e-commerce website application, and the reason why it became so popular so quickly is because the prices are present tense are incredibly low on Temu, and people didn't really understand how or why. They essentially took it for granted, and that's why it's so popular. They no questions asked, gimme, gimme, gimme. So there are Apple AirPods on Temu, which would generally be I don't know the price of Apple AirPods, but okay, let's say there's a shirt on Temu, right? Generally, a really nice shirt, like a polo, right? Generally, a new polo shirt would be $40, 40, $50. On Temu, it would be about $5. And also, real quick, I would like to say I got a lot of the information for this episode from Time Magazine and ZDNet, so thank you to them. And there's another aspect. Go figure. Temu distributes its assets, or the things that it's selling, they come from Chinese warehouses, so la-di-da. People only really started to get angry at Temu when people had undelivered packages, incorrect orders, mysterious charges, and unresponsive, unreliable customer service. And I want to dive into mysterious charges for just a split second. Basically, people had on their card, on their purchase history, it said they had ordered the same thing like 8 times. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when Temu is a completely reliable and functional service. I know some friends who have ordered stuff from Temu, and they are completely happy with what they bought. But the thing is that, say a company like Amazon, right? A lot of the time, you're going to get what you ordered for, or ordered. And never in my entire life have I witnessed someone, or even myself, never in my life have I seen or heard of anyone not getting what they ordered from Amazon, Etsy, eBay. Wish is a different story, as I'm sure you can guess. But that's the thing, is that there is a 1 in a million chance. It's like finding a needle in a haystack if you get a false order, or if you order something and then it doesn't come, or you get something in the mail that you didn't order. That's just not going to happen if you use Amazon or eBay, Etsy, anything like that. But the thing is with Temu is that it's an evil company. It's a corrupt company that was made purely to be, quote unquote, inconspicuously reliable. Now, there's another aspect of Temu. There is a function of Temu that makes things cheaper. And basically, it is a spin the wheel type of game. And if you spin a certain amount of times, I guess, I've never used Temu, and quite frankly, I don't care. Um, if you spin the wheel a certain amount of times, maybe, or you hit the jackpot, something will end up being a lot less or maybe even free. And there's another way to make things less expensive or free. And that is if you try to get people to make an account on Temu. And then that gives the other person who invited you to Temu to get more credits. Because credits is what gives a person more, or less, rather, less expensive things. Now, Temu has a quote unquote sister company called Pinduoduo, and it's even worse. Pinduoduo is nothing more than malware. It is another e commerce kind of thing, but it's e commerce in disguise. It's really just malware. And the reason I say that is because once you download it, it's quite literally impossible to remove. And the reason they made it quite literally impossible to remove is because typically, usually they spy on you. Pinduoduo is used for spying on people. According to CNN, there's no evidence that Pinduoduo has given data to the Chinese government or the CCP or anything like that. I barely even know what the CCP is, but there's no evidence of them giving anything to them. But that doesn't mean there's a possibility, there's a definite possibility that they have. Here's a really fascinating part. This is a quote from CNN. It was in 2020, according to a current Pinduoduo employee, that the company set up a team of about 100 engineers and product managers to dig for vulnerabilities in Android phones, develop ways to exploit them, and turn that into profit. It boggles my mind how and why Pinduoduo and Temu hasn't been run into the ground multiple times. Now, a lot of people may not be aware of how bad Temu or Pinduoduo is. The US government certainly is aware. The United States government, yes, the federal government, has accused Temu of being a safety risk. And then there's the fact that I don't actually think that you can get Temu on Google Play. I think it's been banned. Now, I say people aren't aware of how bad Temu is because they aren't. On the App Store, the Apple App Store, the ratings and reviews, 4.6 out of 5. And that is an incredibly good rating. And most of those ratings are 5s, as I'm sure you can expect. The next most popular rating is a 4, and then it's a 1, and then it's a 2. And the ratings that are previewed are all positive. The lowest rating is a 3. And thank you, Temu. A little refinement will bring me to a 5-star. Products and deals are okay. Excellent source of low-cost items. So much to see. Love Temu. Loving Temu. $50 coupon. Wonderful store. Marvelous place. It's all just people who love Temu. In fact, I bet if I just go back and then see y'all, I still haven't found a negative one. Legit and addictive. And another thing is that I'm going to go ahead and guess that some of these reviews might be fake, as in the company has organized some sort of robot to make positive reviews because that's just a way to raise the legit looking aesthetic, you could say, as a company. And I have only seen about maybe 5 negative reviews. So that should just say how well Temu is doing things. Now, in Temu's own words, they say that it keeps its products affordable by connecting customers directly to suppliers, and then it distributes the items in a Chinese warehouse. Now, here's a quote from ZDNet, and it says, "The U.S. House Select Committee asserts that Temu can make its products so cheaply for U.S. consumers because the company operates under the de minimis loophole." Never heard of it. "Which allows imports valued under $800 to come to the U.S. without paying duties, taxes, and fees, and undergoing rigorous inspection. The committee report says that Temu can make products cheaper by using the de minimis provision to evade import duties, tariffs, and U.S. customs inspections." So they're essentially breaking the rules by not breaking the rules. Now you're probably wondering, why hasn't Temu been run into the ground multiple times? It's because the negative reviews aren't going to do anything. It's a $100 billion company. The negative reviews are not going to do anything. And one of the reasons why I'm not very worried about it is because, has Temu made a nuclear bomb on America? No. Have they made a nuclear bomb at all? No. What's the worst that they've done? They've taken people's money without them knowing. And while that's pretty bad, it's not as bad as nuclear war, that's for sure. Now, interestingly enough, Temu is not 100% Chinese. It's actually partly Irish. Their parent company, PDD Holdings, is headquartered in Dublin, Ireland. And I just want to say, I had full respect for Ireland until now. I'm just kidding. The only reason why they moved to Ireland, according to ZDNet, is because of the low corporate tax rates. Now, Temu kind of does its best to reassure its users with their third-party code of conduct, and it says that the company has zero tolerance policy for vendors that use forced labor to manufacture products. So basically what they're saying is, if Temu was founded a few hundred years earlier, if George Washington had reached out to them and say, "Hey, I got some cotton here that some of my slaves harvested. You want any?" Temu would say, "Nuh-uh." Now, if you go on the App Store and you go to App Privacy, which is on very nearly the bottom of its page, it says it links your purchases, location, user content, identifiers, and that's pretty much just because it's an e-commerce thing and its job is to deliver things to you. But the thing is that there's actually two. There's two links that I don't really get. Search history. Why do you want to know my search history? And usage data, which is pretty much just how long you've used the app. I don't exactly know why you want to know how long I've been on your app. I don't know why you care. I don't know why you want to know. And oh wow, their latest update was 15 hours ago. That's surprising. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot of info that I don't really want them to know. Also, if you hear that noise, that's me putting my tablet back on its case. I'm using it to surf the App Store for more information on Temu. Now, another thing about Temu that is making its customers drooling and screaming is that it has a free shipping policy. And brilliant, I get to have things free. You can't see, but I'm smiling. And to be honest, I think it's pretty clear that I'm running out of things to say. So, with that, I think that is all I have to say. Have a good day, and if you use Temu, just get some phone cases.